Hey, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy Opens, we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Blood Stalk figure from Kamen Rider Build. Alright, here is SH Figuarts Blood Stalk. Blood Stalk is from Kamen Rider Build, the 32nd Kamen Rider season, if you will, I guess. And it ran from September of 2017 to August of 2018. Bloodstalk is a main antagonist for Kamen Rider Build, and they are fantastic. We'll get into that later. They are not a rider necessarily. They're not a Kamen Rider because there is no Henshin belt, among other reasons, but that is one way to tell. And since they don't have a Henshin belt, they use the trans steam system to transform. And you might notice that this box is a little thicker. That's because it comes with a effects piece that is steam, which is really awesome, and I really wish that more Figuarts came with these effects parts because, yeah, it's really neat. Alright, now let's get this figure free from its plastic prison and see what we think about Bloodstalk. So here's Bloodstalk, fresh from the box, and he looks amazing. The amount of detail that they put into this figure is stunning, and it's just so sick. The translucent blue cobra on the visor is absolutely beautiful, and the color scheme is so good. I love it so much. The rivets and pipes and all this stuff makes it look very steampunky, I guess. Well, I guess that is kind of the whole point with the steam and all that, but the rivets and the pipes and the wires, they all just look really cool together. And there's so much detail that you keep seeing more stuff the more and more you look at it, and I love that. The cobra motif on this character, on this figure and in this suit is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of when Rider messes with like the cobra motif like they did with Oja and Ryuki. That was awesome, and so this is really cool too. The more I look at this figure in this suit, the more cobras I see. So you have the first thing you think of is the chest piece. That's the metallic blue painted chest piece, which is a cobra. And then you have the metallic translucent blue visor that is the cobra with the tail, the little blue part of the tail that juts off on the side of the helmet, which I absolutely love because it gives it that asymmetrical look, and oh, that's amazing. But then the more I'm looking at it, back on the torso of the figure, you can see like some darker red like scales, I guess you'd call it, but basically it looks like the belly sections of a cobra, and then that goes up to the chest, and then the shoulder parts fan out to emulate the hood of a cobra, and that's really cool. And yeah, then you also have the on the back of the figure, there is on the butt of the figure, you can see that it looks like the hood, like the back part of the hood of a cobra. And you could also argue maybe on the front crotch area that is also another cobra. It's just everywhere. And then if you look on the arms, it looks like there's a little piece on the bicep that looks like it could also be the back part of the hood of a cobra, with the tendril that comes out of the forearm being the tail, and that's on both arms, and that's awesome. And yeah, there's just so much, oh my god, there's just so much really awesome detail. I cannot sing its praises enough. It just looks so good. Thing I really love about it is that it's got so many rivets and so many like parts to it that it looks so like what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say cobbled together, but that's not right. It kind of reminds me of like how Iron Man suits early on were less refined, and then they become like smooth, and you don't see any of the parts that go together. You don't see how they're put together. However, here you see like the rivets and the bolts and all the wires and stuff, and I love the wires element because it looks like it's unfinished almost, like it's almost there, but you can still see all the parts that make it a whole, and it's just so good. And then the blue and white wires really help to like make it pop in a way that draws your attention to it, and fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so Blood Stalk comes with a few accessories. They come with a trans steam gun, and that's their personal weapon and transformation device. They come with the steam blade, which is essentially a gun rifle thing that you can combine and either make it a blade, or you can combine it and use it as a rifle. So you have options. They also come with 8 pairs of hands, and as I mentioned earlier, the trans steam effect parts, which are awesome and look fantastic. And again, Bandai, Tamashii, whatever, whoever's listening, Figuarts, whatever company's listening that's making this, give us more of this. This is awesome. I'll pay a little bit extra for it. All right, now let's talk about the articulation you're going to get out of Blood Stalk. So, Blood Stalk, 360 at the neck. You got all kinds of wiggle room there for him. He's just wiggling around all over the place. He can look up a lot. He can look down a decent amount. And he's got some side-to-side action too. So yeah, you get the armor comes up on the shoulder, which I much prefer the design of the shoulder armor coming off, because it makes it less likely to fall off like it does on Cross Z. But you get 360 at the shoulder, and I'm trying to be a little careful here. You get some wiggle room there with the shoulder pad, armor pad, whatever you want to call it. You get some up and down with the shoulder joint there, which it's on a cool little ball joint that goes up and down too. So tons of room there to do things. You get some swivel at the bicep. Is there a T there? I don't think there's a T. Bicep. And you get double jointed elbows, which is always rad. And then you get 360 at the wrist, and you get front and back as well, and side to side all over the place because it's on a ball joint. But be careful, because you do have the little tendril right there that could cause some problems if you're not careful, but should be all right. Let's see, you get some little bit of forward crunch, but a lot of back movement, which is legit. You get left to right, side to side, all kinds of wiggle room. And yeah, then you get some separation at the waist, where he can go all the way around if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do it on mine because I don't want to break mine. Got some decent split action going on. You get thigh swivel, which is legit. He can kick back a very good distance and forward just a slightly less, and you get double jointed knees. There we go. You get some ankle rockage there down at the ankle, which is cool. Front, back, side to side. You can turn it, twist it, bop it, all that fun stuff. And you also get the toe joint right there. And if I'm not mistaken, that is all the articulation you're going to get out of Blood Stalk. According to the Kamen Rider Wiki, Blood Stalk stands around 6'6" and weighs around 224 pounds. This figure is 6 1/4 inches tall and weighs around 3 ounces. Now let's see how he measures up to some other figures you might have in your collection. Here they are with SH Figuarts Street Fighter Cammy and Masters of the Universe Classics Ular figures. Here they are with Storm Collectible Sub-Zero and Marvel Legends Wolverine. Here they are with Marvel Select Rhino and DC Universe Classics Joker. Here they are with the NECA 1987 animated series Shredder and Figma's Link figure. Kamen Rider Build is one of my favorite Kamen Rider series of all the Kamen Rider series. It's just got really good story, a ton of good characters, and Blood Stalk is one of those really cool characters. The character itself was just menacing and just, I don't know, there was an uneasiness about that character, which was really cool to watch. And then the twist that happens with the character is really cool. And so yeah, but the main thing that got my attention was the suit. And this suit is fantastic. It just looks so good, and I am a huge fan of a lot of the suits in Kamen Rider Build, especially the villain suits. And this is one of the ones. The Cobra motif just looked really cool, and just the pipes and everything. Oh, I loved it so much. And I just think that Bandai and SH Figuarts did a really good job recreating this in a smaller format than they did on the bigger format for the TV show. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, what I'm trying to say is, I really like this figure. Figuarts did an amazing job shrinking all the coolness that's on the screen down to figure form, and I just can't get enough of it. I think the detail is fantastic. The sculpt and the paint look just amazing, and the stark contrast of the Cobra motif that's like blatantly obvious on the chest and on the visor, but also the subtle like nods to the Cobra motif throughout the suit is just fantastic to me. The more I look at it, the more I find different elements that could be Cobra-esque. I love how much the articulation allows for such emotive poses. Like the amount of articulation, I think I forgot to mention that he's kind of got a double jointed neck. I think that's what it's called, to where the ball joint moves at the head, but also like the neck where it connects to the chest has a joint there too, to where it can get some movement as well. And that's really awesome, and it allows for a very dynamic range of emotions that you can kind of approximate through just head gestures and body language. And that's fantastic. Another thing I love are the clawed hands. There's just something so cool about those clawed hands that I don't know. I just can't get enough of them. I just love me a clawed hand. And there's still something that just geeks me out about how sort of kind of unfinished, or at least unrefined, this suit looks. Like the trans steam suits, at least the early ones, that like with the exposed wires and all that. It just, I don't know, I just really love how awesome it looks, and this figure just really brings that out, and it just looks so good on this figure. And then there's the steam effects, which, you know, is part of this figure, and that really adds to it too. It's a little thing, it's really neat, and I'm very glad that they included it. And I think it gives this figure a little extra boost in like worth or value or a reason to purchase, if you will. Not that it necessarily needed it, because this figure looks awesome and is awesome on its own, but the steam effects, little added bonus, and who could be mad at that? So if you're looking for another antagonist for your Kamen Rider figures to fight, Blood Stalk's pretty awesome. Gonna fill that void quite nicely. If you need another villain-esque character that has a Cobra motif going on throughout their suit, I mean, there's so many Cobras on this thing, I mean, I lost count. So there's that. Or if you're just looking for another really awesome looking, super articulated, highly detailed, fun Figuarts figure to have on the shelf and to toy around with, then you will not be disappointed with SH Figuarts Blood Stalk. Alright, well that's going to do it for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, hit that like button. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe as well. I really appreciate it. And if I was loud and wrong about anything, definitely let me know in the comments. And if you love Kamen Rider Build, or if you just love Blood Stalk, let me know in the comments as well. I love talking about Kamen Rider, so yeah, just hit me up. And yeah, until next time, Elsetime.